In today's video, I revisit a beautiful seaside spot to get some ethereal long exposure images just like these. I've come down to these great wooden sea barriers in Portobello near Edinburgh, and I've come specifically down here because I actually came down to try and get a photograph of these some time ago, just with my Sony RX1, but I absolutely messed up that shoot and I accidentally shot in JPEG and none of my images were sharp and I really didn't like the result, and so I thought I'm going to come down here and redo this. So the shot I'm working on at the moment is just looking down the end of this bit of breakwater, because I love the way that it just goes into the water. We've got the great supporting lines and the small fence posts, and then of course we've got the big sort of pole with the round thing on the end as well. We've got great cloud detail too. So I really think that there's going to be a nice photo here. Originally the shot that I wanted to get of the sort of broken down part of the breakwater is further up the beach. But because the tide is quite far out right now, I don't think that that's a shot that I'm going to be able to get. Because I want that movement of water, I want to use that long exposure to get that blurring motion of the water, but I need to be close to the water in order to get that. And the broken down curvy bit is, I don't know, 40 feet that way. So I know that I want this to be a really sort of ethereal shot. Very slow shutter speed, lovely ghostly blurring of the water. I don't really want to keep any water detail in there, so I want certainly a 10-second shutter speed, if not a little bit longer. Let's try 10 seconds. Tide's coming in a bit much here, but I think what I want to do is try and get in here. Maybe try and do a vertical composition. Now this isn't a particularly wide lens, so I might struggle. 13 seconds this time. The thing that I definitely need to be aware of though is because there's so much water coming around my tripod and now all over my shoes, so when that water comes in, the sand is shifting and my tripod might move, and at these long exposures that might result in a slightly blurry image. So I am just going to double check that everything is nice and sharp, which it is, so that's fine. I quite like that, but I'm just going to put my tripod down, just get a bit lower into the water, try and emphasize those angles a little bit more. Which is going to be difficult, because I can't see the screen because it doesn't fully articulate. F16, 8 seconds. I might be being a bit reckless with this camera here, but I want to try and get a little bit more in the water. Something like this. It's already looking better on the back of camera, I think. F16, 8 seconds. I've just had a look at that and it's incredibly blurry. I'm going to extend out the legs. Little tip if you are using tripod on sand like this, if you find little bits of wood or stone to put under your tripod's legs, it will help secure it. But there's nothing really like that around here. And I don't really have the time to go hunting, but give it a wiggle. Let's have a look at that one. Nope, too blurry again. Okay, I'm gonna have to try this then at F10 and 3 seconds shutter speed, because clearly 8 seconds is just not going to work. So I switched to a vertical composition here, and the reason is because I felt that with a horizontal one, we've got so much going on the right hand side of the frame, and the left is basically empty, so it feels really unbalanced. But going with a vertical composition straight down here means we've got all of that wood, all of that texture, all of that information and the subject matter right in the middle of the frame. Probably just going to try and get a few more before I head off. I think I need to go a little lower. Great conditions for this. Windy, but not too much. Nice detail in the sky. Some okay side light coming in from the sunset. I'm going to try a couple more, but I'm going to get wet for them. I know I am. Yeah, already feel it. Right, taking back this mobile tripod because I need it. Might seem nuts using a mobile tripod on a camera like this, but because I've actually got a Gitzo head on it, it's pretty stable. And it means that I can use this as my surface to shoot on, which is much more stable than the sand, which keeps slipping away as I try and take my shots. So hopefully this is going to let me get exactly what I want. Okay, we're going f18 and we're going 10 seconds. Blurry as hell. Okay. I've just turned on the 2-second self-timer because I wonder if me touching the camera caused some of that blurriness. So this way, fire the trigger, then the camera has a moment just to stabilize itself, and then 2 seconds later, it takes the photo. Let's have a look at that one. Oh yeah, that one looks a lot better. Yeah, I like this scene. Just gonna go f16, 10 seconds. Again, that 2-second timer. Gonna be braver still. Let's try and do one more really long exposure at 30 seconds. f29 for some real ethereal blur. But that does bring me to an end of this week's video. If you have enjoyed it, then do please hit that like button and do consider subscribing to my channel if you don't already, and I will see you next time.